The YNW Melly case is starting to heat up, with new evidence being released, YNW Melly'S speaking about his time in jail, and even YNW Bortlen speaking on the passing of YNW Sakchaser and Juvy, including his involvement in it. With so much going on, many forget that YNW Melly has been sitting inside of jail for 4 years now, as there are statements being released that YNW Melly is being treated very poorly inside of jail from the guards and the head of the jail. All of this has made YNW Melly's lawyers trying to break him out of jail as soon as possible in any way possible. However, YNW Bortlen may have just ruined this, as YNW Melly was originally arrested 4 years ago alongside his best friend YNW Bortlen, as these two are the main suspects in the case of the passing of YNW Sakchaser and Juvy. And YNW Bortlen, he was released on bond after severe evidence was found against YNW Melly a few months into their jail time. At least, that's what people claim happened. There's theories released of YNW Bortlen allegedly snitching on Melly to be released. And on the night of their arrest, YNW Bortlen was interviewed by police that arrived to the scene of the crime. That interview has now been released, and I'm gonna share it with you today.
And I'm driving, ducking for my life, trying to make sure I don't get hit. And you telling me, you telling me about some shit. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. I'm driving. I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. You know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna be worried about? You know what I'm saying?
I know it's not for you to worry about.
Shit crazy, bro.
But if you tell me it happened there's got to be some evidence there. There's going to be broken glass, just like there's broken glass over here from when you guys open the doors and stuff like that. Okay, there's going to be broken glass over there when the windows got out. There's going to be casings from the people at your car. Okay, there's going to be evidence over there. Okay, right now there's nothing. I kind of think I know what happened because I got information.
If you're a fan of YNW Melly, leave a like on the video. I'm curious how many fans are watching today. YNW Bortlen is explaining how Sakchaser and Juvy's passing went down. As explained further in official court documents, it outlines at 3:30 a.m., YNW Melly was leaving a recording studio alongside Bortlen, Sakchaser, and Juvy. The four rappers hopped inside of their Jeep, and with YNW Bortlen being the driver of the vehicle on this night, YNW Melly was sitting directly behind him, leaving Sakchaser and Juvy the only two affected in this situation, both sitting on the opposite side of the car. While driving home, YNW Bortlen was seen on GPS evidence driving the vehicle into an empty parking lot on the side street, with the vehicle sitting in park for roughly 30 minutes. The theory is that YNW Bortlen created a distraction inside of the car. Meanwhile, YNW Melly did the act towards Sakchaser and Juvy. With the car sitting in park for roughly 30 minutes, GPS evidence then shared YNW Melly stepping out of the Jeep, walking around it in a circle before hopping back in. The theory is Melly stepped out of the vehicle, used his own firearm towards it on Sakchaser and Juvy's side of the vehicle to make it appear as if they went through a drive-by by rival street members. Now that evidence was found out from law enforcement using YNW Melly's cell phone as a GPS tracking device in his pocket. With the most concerning part being, when Sakchaser and Juvy finally got medical attention, it wasn't from an ambulance being called to the location. It took YNW Bortlen and Melly roughly 30 minutes to get them to the local hospital for medical attention. But just wait, because it was only Bortlen that drove them to the hospital. On GPS evidence once again, YNW Melly was seen sprinting home on foot down the street. Now 3 hours after the incident went by, law enforcement noticed that YNW Melly sent a suspicious Instagram DM. YNW Melly is having a conversation with what is now a burner account about what happened. With YNW Sakchaser and Juvy's passings and the situation now hitting news headlines on live TV and on the radio, Complex stated a new piece of evidence that happened during that moment. There is one Instagram exchange that took place hours after the incident. document, which was obtained by Complex via a public records request. In it, YNW Melly'S Instagram account says, "I did that," in one message, followed 2 minutes later by another message saying, "shh." Now, the timing of these Instagram DMs will be getting used by the state to make the case that those messages amount to an admission of YNW Melly'S guilt. As why else would he be responding to an Instagram DM 3 hours after his two best friends just passed, saying the words, "I did that"? Now, that wasn't the only bad news presented in the courtroom on that day, as at the recent court hearing, a detective in the Melly case stated in court that he believes this rapper was likely the one who committed the act towards the two YNW affiliates. Now, according to more court documents obtained by XXL, Detective Christopher Williams will be testifying against YNW Melly in trial. Detective Williams is known to be one of the greatest detectives at recreating crime scenes to build an image on how certain crimes went down. Williams reconstructed the scene of the crime that was described by the feds as well as YNW Bortlen earlier in the video. Detective Williams then built human-like figures, the exact same size and weight of each YNW member, and he put them inside of the Jeep. He then used firearms towards the figures, and he lined up everything the same as the actual crime scene inside of the Jeep. Now, not only did it reveal that YNW Melly most likely did this act towards Juvy and Sakchaser only 8 inches away from their faces, but it also shows all signs of who did this act towards them in YNW Melly's seat of the car. This is due to what is the aftermath after something this serious, and you can imagine it's things going over the roof of the car as well as the side after a firearm is used. Now, here's the photo of where everyone was sitting inside of the car. Bortlen again being the driver, he had Melly sitting right behind him, leaving Sakchaser and Juvy both on the opposite side. Now, Detective Williams also used what is called the stick method. He lined up plastic sticks to match the trajectory of a firearm that could have been used. The concerning part is the trajectory from YNW Melly's seat showed a perfect match to where Sakchaser and Juvy were affected when they were brought to the hospital. When these statements were released from the courtroom, we saw YNW Melly's music manager defending him online as the entire world was nervous for Melly. On July 6, new paperwork was released revealing YNW Melly, he's no longer facing the penalty in his case. This was due to reports of sloppy paperwork by the feds, resulting in them not having the severe evidence they need for the penalty. Then also we saw reports of good defenses coming out from Melly's side with his lawyers. As Melly's mother wrote on Instagram, the penalty has officially been removed from Melly's case. Thank you, Jesus. #FreeMelly2022. Now, with the trial officially beginning soon, this is where 100K Track said in an interview with DJ Academics this message being from YNW Melly's music manager.
He built a real great solid team away from just being innocent because he wouldn't do such a crime. He prepared himself and got a proper, defense. Their job is to handle themselves in trial, not on social media. You guys are taking it that way. If they say they got DNA in a car, I'm just gonna tell you Melly DNA was found in the car. You're gonna think, yeah, his DNA was found in the car the day of the he jumped in a car and his DNA was in the car, he did it. Okay, but you're not gonna put the fact that this was his car for 6-7 months on those documents and dockets and just automatically be like, yo, he's fried. You don't even know what the defense is. You don't even know what the rebuttal is. You don't even know why that situation occurred. You hear ballistics flying, you don't know what the defense is. You hear this, you hear that. You get what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be honest.
If YNW Melly's defense team has done as good as a job as sources claim, YNW Melly's release date from jail in 2023 should be within the next 3 months as the trial is now beginning. And with the trial beginning, more and more proof of the prosecutors trying to make Melly look bad in court is being revealed. As on September 30th, news outlets started reporting YNW Melly is being accused of teaming up with one of his lawyers to plot a prison escape. As the Broward County Jail where YNW Melly is currently locked up did an interview with Complex, where they mentioned in court on April 11th, 2022, Broward Sheriff's Office received a confidential tip regarding inmates Nicholas Lewis and Jamal Demon. demons, both housed in the same unit at the main jail, planning an escape from jail by having Demon's attorney bring in 2 handcuff keys in order to aid the escape. Additional information provided by the source was that Lewis had an item that's illegal in jail as well as narcotics that were not prescribed to him. As the statement continues saying, jail authorities searched Lewis's jail cell after the tip, which came from another inmate. They found multiple illegal items and narcotics for which he did not have a prescription. YNW Melly'S cell was also searched, but nothing was found except food from the commissary and an excessive amount of jail-issued clothing. Now, this all started when an inmate in Melly'S cell block overheard Melly and Lewis allegedly talking about escaping prison one day. With him eavesdropping, I guess the inmate believed if he told, he would get some sort of special treatment in jail from the guards, maybe some money on his books, or something in that nature. So he snitched out YNW Melly, telling the guards that Melly's lawyer will be sliding him a handcuff key on their next meeting. YNW Melly's own mom even reacted to this as well.
Okay, so I'm at work and I just seen this crazy story. First of all, this is just another tactic for them to try to literally just tarnish my son's character and everything. They do not want him having attorney visits in person, which will cause for ineffective counsel. So we went to court for that. And they took his phone calls and they have him locked down. They had no evidence whatsoever that his attorneys did anything wrong to prove these accusations, but they knew it would get picked up by the media. So when we get ready to pick a jury, hopefully within the next 2 weeks, it's going to be, oh, this kid tried to escape. Oh, this kid tried to do all these things. This is all fake because they do not have a case.
Now, in the video, Melly's mom mentions how the feds have no evidence against him, so they're just trying to make him look bad in front of the jury. I'm curious to know what you guys think. Do you think YNW Melly will beat this case? If so, leave a like on the video and don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with the case. It's been District Trending, and I'm out. Peace.